We are here with life coach and author of the book Healer and Heals, Jasna Burza, who is here to talk to us about the importance of something I find very healing, the importance of spending time alone, solitude. And you say that solitude can increase self-awareness.
Very much so. It really allows us a quiet space to tune out the external influences into our lives and turn the focus inward. When we do that, we get to ask ourselves, what do I want? We get to reflect about life in general and just kind of really sit with our own thoughts, and it will allow us to make way better decisions, more meaningful goals, because we are learning to really listen to ourselves and get to know what it is truly that we want.
And you've told me before too, even when you're doing time alone, like maybe a walk or something, you're like not listening to music, just with your thoughts.
Just with your thoughts.
Right?
So it can either be journaling or just sitting with a cup of coffee, but really being present.
Okay, well, you use a word in your book called infobesity. I have no idea what that is.
So infobesity is information anxiety or information overload. And it's this tendency to crave information even when it's not very, very helpful to us. And that's a problem right now because we are inundated with information all the time.
All the time.
So when we remove it, immediately there's a sense of peacefulness and coherence, reduction in stress, because we are removing the constant noise, and it really allows for mental clarity, and it just allows us to check in with ourselves and quiet down all of the daily noise that we get to deal with.
Okay, something else I want to ask you about is I know sometimes people say they purposely stay busy so they don't have to deal with their emotions or like really face things that are going on. What is kind of the connection there with our emotional healing?
Being alone gives us the space to process the emotions that you might be feeling or even running away from. Been there, done that. I think we all have.
Yep.
So when we tune out the noise, when we remove the external noise and the influences, we can just really sit with ourselves and say, how am I really truly feeling? Without judgment, without interference from others. And also, when we sit with ourselves, there's no societal expectation of how we should be. So we can really be very honest with our emotions and again, going back to the self-awareness, become very present to what it is that we're feeling and thinking.
So this kind of ties into personal growth.
Very much so. And when we process the things and we get to ask ourselves, we also get to really ask ourselves the kind of decisions that we want. We trust our own intuition, and we become a little bit more independent because there's no one else to ask, what do you think? What do you think I should do? We get to really rely on ourselves, and then we get to pick the skills and personal growth opportunities that are very, very authentic to us.
Okay, well, we're going to run down this again. Tip number one here, step away from screens.
Number one, really, if you do that, just do that 1 hour, 1 day longer if you can. It will heal you.
Okay, and then journaling. You talk so much about journaling.
Very much so. That allows us, again, to process our emotions, become very present, and get to know ourselves well.
Okay, and then reflecting on our needs and our wants.
Yes, because if we don't know what it is that we want, how are we going to get it? And very often it gives us the direction in life.
Okay, and then being okay being alone, because people are different on this. Some people love to go have lunch alone. Other people are like, that is my nightmare.
Yes, and if it's your nightmare, it's precisely what the doctor ordered, because it's really getting comfortable with that it will pay dividends for years to come because the benefits are very obvious.
Okay, and then last question for you. I know a lot of people are busy and they're like, I don't have any time to have alone time. Little kids, things like that.
We make the time for the things that are very important to us. So I would really challenge all of us to say that we can make 5 minutes before we come out of the car. Before I came out of the car here, I sat in meditation for 5 minutes alone. So I think that there's always time to do that. It doesn't have to be an entire day. Few minutes, just being with yourself is such a gift that we can give to ourselves.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Jasna.
Such a pleasure.
We'll be right back.